Let's be honest, doing push-ups won't build muscle. Or can they? You see, a lot of people take push-ups for granted, including myself, but a single push-up can work thousands of muscle fibers. Our body is incredible, and yet on average a person can only do 10 to 20 in a row. Our ability to perform a push-up is declining because we spend most of our time sitting and laying around the house. Next thing you know, we will all be living in a society like WALL-E, barely able to move because we want to be excessively comfortable. As someone who works from home but wants to build muscle, it's nice to know you can do a push-up wherever you're at, unless you don't have hands.
Bruh.
Okay, bad joke. But anyways, I'm a 31-year-old man who's been serious about fitness for more than 10 years, and during those years I've explored many fitness programs that included bodyweight exercises. In this video, I will explain each push-up variation, illustrate proper form, explain the muscle groups targeted, and share tips on how to progress from beginner to advanced levels. Let's start simple with knee push-ups. And yeah, we've all been there. It feels like the most basic variation, but here's the thing, you don't just do knee push-ups to avoid real push-ups. The real benefit is in the control. You've got to make sure you're keeping your back straight and your core tight. Once you feel like you've mastered it, then it's time to move on to the regular push-up. The next push-up variation are incline push-ups, and it sounds easy enough, right? You're raising your hands on a bench or table so your feet are still on the ground, but here's the catch. The higher the surface, the less you're engaging your core, and the more you're just targeting your upper chest and shoulders. So as you get stronger, lower that surface. The real goal isn't just to do incline push-ups, it's to make them harder over time and transition into something more challenging. Now moving on to the medium difficulty category, but before I do, I know some of you might be thinking, but what about weightlifting? Push-ups can't actually build muscle like the bench can, right? And you're right, but maybe you're wrong because it's not all about weightlifting. Don't be afraid to sprinkle in some body exercises into your routine, you might be surprised on the results. Here's where we start to get real with the classic standard push-up. Sure, it looks simple, but getting that body straight and lowering down with control is harder than it seems. Remember to keep your elbows close to your body, don't flare them. And here's a fun fact, most people never truly master the standard push-up because they rush through it. Don't just do a bunch of them, do them right. Once you've got perfect form, that's when you can move on to the fun stuff. Moving on to diamond push-ups, and let's be honest, they might look easy, but they can be difficult. You've got that diamond hand position, which targets the inner chest and sets your triceps on fire. But here's the thing, if you try to do them without solid upper body strength, you're going to feel it. So start with a wider hand placement, and then gradually bring those hands closer together as you get stronger. It's a subtle shift that makes all the difference. Why push-ups can seem like just another variation, but they're different. The wider hand placement really hits the outer chest and deltoids, and here's what most people miss. If you go too wide, it won't be effective. About 1.5 times shoulder width is the sweet spot. It's about hitting the right muscles in the right way. Now moving on to the advanced difficulty category. But before I do, I know some of you might be thinking, as I start getting used to these push-up variations, is it possible to do push-ups every day to build muscle faster? That's a very good question, I'm glad you thought of it. I'll answer that question after this next category. Now let's talk about decline push-ups. You've got your feet elevated on a bench, and it seems like this should be easy, right? Well, think again, the higher your feet, the more you're targeting the upper chest and shoulders. But it's not just about raising your feet to make things harder. You need to focus on engaging your core, especially as you go for higher elevations. It's not just about brute strength, it's about stability and control. Archer push-ups may sound like a cool variation, but they're not as flashy as they seem. Yeah, you go wide, you bend one arm, and it feels like a challenge. But the trick is getting that unilateral chest development and building shoulder stability. It's not about how wide you go, it's about the balance between strength and stability. And here's the secret, don't rush. Master wide push-ups before even thinking about this one. Now to answer the question, can you do push-ups every day to build muscle faster? The answer is yes. If you're not sore, if you are still sore, you'll want to wait until you're fully recovered before doing them again. As you get stronger, you could possibly do them every day to build muscle faster. For the next category, we're going to dive into beast mode push-ups. This variation can't be done by just anyone. Alright, let's take it up a notch. One arm push-ups, these are the real deal. The first thing people think is this is impossible, but here's the trick. Start with archer push-ups and use the wall for support. Work on getting the balance and strength you need before you try this on your own. The one arm push-up is all about stability and control, and once you've mastered that, one arm push-ups become possible. Next, we have 90-degree push-ups, and here's the truth. They look insane, but they're not impossible. The key is mastering wall handstands first. Once you've got that, you can start practicing negative reps, slowly lowering yourself and then pushing back up. It's about building strength slowly, not rushing to the top. Now, do you have to do beast mode push-ups in order to maximize muscle growth? No, all you need to do is challenge yourself. You can actually do any of these variations to build muscle because our muscles don't care what we're doing. As long as our muscle are getting stimulated and challenged, that's where the growth is triggered. Thank you for watching. You've probably realized by now this wasn't every push-up variant that exists. This video is already long enough, but if you want a part 2, leave a comment and subscribe, and I'll probably make another video with more variations.